Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president again.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 20.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
Welcome into CobraCast 199. What's up, Snake Pit? We got a lot to talk about tonight, and you guys seemed very, very hyped. There's a lot going on, and the right people, all the right people or all the wrong people, are very upset at President Trump, and they're all mobilizing against him, which is exactly what we all thought was going to happen in 2024, and 2024 has not disappointed at all. We also have this new interview from President Trump that I think we're going to try to watch. I have not watched any of it yet, with Lou Dobbs, I think, is Lou Dobbs. And, man, Elon Musk literally just called Mark Cuban a racist straight up just said Mark Cuban is a racist. That's what Elon Musk said on Twitter. It's wild. But the most important thing we have is Big Mike. Big Mike is really scared of President Trump. That's right. Big Mike is really scared of President Trump. And listen, man, a lot of people were talking about, a lot of people were saying something about a thumbnail. Like I just Googled picture of Michelle Obama, and I used a picture of Michelle Obama. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. So, like, what's the big deal? I mean, you guys like saying, I don't know, like everybody's bringing up the thumbnail like something's going on with it. And I'm like, well, what's the deal? Like I Googled Michelle Obama, and we just Michelle Obama, right? Is that right? There you go. What's the problem? That's a picture of Michelle Obama, and that's a picture of Donald Trump. Now, we know Donald Trump is 6'3", 215 pounds, shredded, ripped from head to toe. I don't think that he has any body fat at all. I don't think there's any body fat on President Trump. And then, of course, like, I mean, Michelle Obama's obviously, pretty ripped. Pretty ripped. Big Mike. So, again, I just Googled Michelle Obama. Like, we know Trump made some appearances in WWE. So, there you go. Not a big deal, really, right? So, yeah, that's a good thumbnail right there. That's a good thumbnail. I was pretty happy with that one right there. Oh, good stuff. But yes, welcome in, everyone. Welcome to CobraCast 199. We got a busy night ahead of us. I've got a Mario Kart stream after this over on Geeks and Gamers Play. And then, of course, you know what I'm playing after Mario Kart. You already know. I mean, look, this happened last night. Last night, little old me on my little old Cobra 199 channel, we had the second biggest Fortnite stream on YouTube. On a channel with 3,000 subscribers, we had the second biggest Fortnite stream on YouTube. That's insane. So shout out to all of you. But yeah, we got a busy night tonight. But the first thing we got to talk about is the chat, the MVPs, the chat, the 199 right there. What's up to the 199? I see all of you. Dom H just dropped 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. DJ Feisty says, thank you for keeping up with CobraCast. It really is a good way for us to unwind. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. This show has not disappointed in 2024. You guys have been crushing it. I'm still working on getting this plug in so I can have the Rumble and the YouTube chats. But for some reason with Rumble, there's no dark theme when I copy and paste the Rumble chat into the browser extension. And I can't figure that out. I even went into the settings, to the internal settings. But I see you, Rumble. I see you. We got almost 70 people on Rumble right now, so let's go. But yeah, welcome into CobraCast 199. Scan in, everybody. Everybody's rolling in here. Smash the melee button. We do have a lot to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to jump right into this because topics are essential tonight. So we're going to get right into it. And the most unlikable people on the planet are very upset that Donald J. Trump has so much momentum. And one of those people would be one Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama says she fears about the 2024 White House presidential race and that it keeps her up at night. I am terrified about what could possibly happen, Obama said on this year's presidential election in an interview with Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast. So right here, where did it go? Why does that happen? There we go. Here we go. So let's listen in to what Big Mike has to say.
Are we moving at all fast enough? What are we doing about education? Are people going to vote? And why aren't people voting?
I'm just going to let it keep. I'm just going to let this continue.
Are we too stuck to our phones? I mean, those are the things that keep me up because you don't have control over them.
You don't have control over if people vote. Did you just hear what she said? She wants to control. They want to control it. They want to have control.
And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen.
You should be terrified, Michelle Obama. You should be terrified. Barry should be terrified. Hillary should be terrified. Bill should be terrified. Fannie Willis should be terrified. Jack Smith should be terrified. Kamala Harris should be terrified. The Biden family should be terrified. The Bush family should be terrified. They should all be terrified, and they are. And that's why you're seeing a full court press right now against Donald Trump. A full court press.
Because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted. The fact that people think that government, does it really even do anything? And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, they certainly do. They shut down an entire country so that they can control the people and control what they do. So yeah, we're actually very aware of that, Michelle. Thanks. And that's essentially what's going on here is that The problem with Michelle and many of the other elites is that they are really upset that too many people are finally realizing what's actually going on. That's a big problem. That's a big problem.
Does government do everything for us? And we cannot take this democracy for granted. And sometimes
So Michelle Obama, very upset that Donald Trump is dominating in the polls right now. And that's not all we got. That's not all we got. There's a lot more. You're seeing a full court press from all of the elites right now. You're seeing this right here from, so Hillary Clinton tweets this out, a screenshot of Kamala Harris's tweet. Hillary Clinton says, "Don't let Trump and his cronies make you disbelieve your own eyes and ears." And this is Kamala Harris. A mob violently attacked the Capitol on January 6, 2021, using brutal force and fear to try and overturn the results of a free and fair election. Trump and extremists tried to mislead and gaslight by claiming it was a peaceful protest, like we weren't watching. So and she's nearly, Hillary Clinton was nearly ratioed on this, by the way. Nearly ratioed. But yeah, like there's a full court press right now. Joe Biden, his account is tweeting like crazy. His account is tweeting like crazy. And then you have the Epstein information coming out today. And of course, Donald Trump's name is in it. Didn't I say Donald Trump's name was going to be in this? Didn't I say that? I know Colin Rugg has this tweeted somewhere. Right here. Yeah. So right here, Epstein victim Sarah Ransom claims Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Richard Branson had sex with Epstein victims, according to the latest document drop. Ransom alleged that she had footage sent to her by one friend of her having sex with Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Branson, but wouldn't share the videos. So there's reportedly videos out there. So I've been saying this about the Epstein stuff for a while now. Like, if you don't think that there's more to this Epstein stuff being dropped right now, again, this is what I've been saying. I've been saying that they are going to, like, how many, what's the chick's name? And in the chat, you're going to have to remind me. What's the chick's name that testified that Trump, like, basically went full on, like, James Bond with the Beast and with the Secret Service, grabbed the wheel, flipped the truck around, did a full 360, did some ninja moves on the Secret Service. Who was that chick? What was her name? I can't remember that chick's name. But she testified that Trump did like all these ninja moves on the Secret Service. I can't remember her name. Chat's going to tell me here in just a minute. Exactly. Yes. The back library. Ransom retracted those statements in 2019. Exactly. Cassidy Hutchins. Yes. Cassidy Hutchins. Where is that? Cassidy Hutchins. Let's see if we can find that. Cassidy Hutchins. Let's see. Is it Hutchinson or Hutchins? There it is. Cassidy Hutchinson. Yeah, here it is. All right. So this chick was like basically like insanity with like all the things she said about Trump. I don't know exactly where the footage is, but we're going to pull that up. And I heard like, what was it? I heard somebody say today, like anybody named in the Epstein files or whatever, needs to be investigated. Well, I agree with that completely. I agree. But guess what? The only person that has been investigated that's been mentioned now is a man named Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been investigated more than any human being on the entire planet. Now, if this Epstein stuff was out there and it was relevant, we all know that it would have been used against Trump in 2016. We all know that. So again, this is all meant to what I think is that this Epstein stuff is being it's basically a setup. They're basically trying to set up a lot of conservative commentators for pushing the Epstein stuff constantly. And then they're going to start intertwining this Trump stuff. That's essentially what I think is going to happen anyway. And at the end of the day, It will be interesting to see how the left-wing media approaches that, but we've already seen how some of the left-wing media is approaching that, because the left-wing media has already put Donald Trump into it. Look at these headlines right here. Look at this headline. Look at this one. Epstein accuser claims pedophile had sex tapes of Trump, Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson in new doc. This is a straight up lie. This is a straight up lie from the New York Post. This is a complete lie. Has it been community noted? No community note. No community note. But, you know, of course, if I tweet out a meme, I'm going to get community noted. Where's the community note for this? And this is the point, man. They're just trying to manipulate. They're trying to manipulate. It's unbelievable. So we have all of that going on. And we're just tipping the iceberg of all of this. We're just tipping the iceberg. So, now, we do have this Lou Dobbs interview with President Trump that I think we're going to check out. But first, I want to check in with all of you. Let's see what we got. I see Legalize Adulthood dropping 20 gifted memberships. Let's go. What's up, Legalize Adulthood in the house? Thank you, Dom H, for those 5. Lord Plagueis with the 1 gifted membership. Lover of Green with the 1 gifted membership. Lover of Green says, at Jeremy, have you heard of Pod Save America? It's a podcast run by mega Obama shills. They have a big following, but they're no match for the strength of the snake pit. Trump 2024, 199 for life. I feel like I have heard of them, but I'm not like, I wouldn't know them if you showed them to me unless you gave me specifics. I'll have to look into it, though. Veer for $40 says, democracy without a republic is just tyranny of the majority. And without honest elections, you have neither. Said by the great Laura Logan today on Twitter. Much love, Jeremy. Be well. Thank you so much for the very, very generous super chat. I appreciate that. Daniel Jagger for 50 says, Coach Bannon and Team Trump are marching down the field. Coach Barry calls a timeout and pulls old Scranton Joe to the sidelines and puts in Big Mike, and all the Bud Light harpies go wild as she thunders onto the field. I'm telling you, man, listen. Forget what you think is going to happen, because you don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that 2024 is going to be wild, and we're just getting started. And, you know, 2024 has already started out crazy. And to me, it's already crazier than I thought it was going to be. And we're not even close to getting into the meat and potatoes of this. I don't know what the plan is. I know that there was a report from, was it a Republican commentator, somebody, maybe a pollster, I can't remember, who basically predicted that Joe Biden is going to step down for health reasons. Now, again, if you remember, for those that have been watching this channel for any significant amount of time, I was predicting even over a year ago, or around a year ago, I've been predicting that Joe Biden would not be the 2024 nominee. Now, I stand here today being consistent with saying, I hope I'm wrong. I want nothing more than Joe Biden to be the 2024 nominee for the Democratic Party. That's what I want. That's what America needs. No doubt about it. But I don't think that that's what the Democrats know, that he can't win. They know that. So I'm still convinced that he will not be the nominee and that they're going to insert someone, probably Gavin Newsom. It could be Big Mike. It could be Hillary Clinton. It really could. That's how crazy the Democrats are, bro. So I don't know, but I want Joe Biden to run. I don't want them to worry about articles of impeachment. Just let Joe Biden run the country into the ground for the next 9 months and let Trump win in a landslide. That is what we need. That is the problem. We need that. And I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to try everything they can, and that the Democrats are going to use that leverage, and they're going to say, for whatever, Joe Biden's got health problems or whatever, something's going to happen, and he's going to step aside, and they don't have time for primaries, so they're just going to choose someone. Again, they're always going to choose someone. If you go back to 2016, your vote didn't matter. Your vote didn't matter. Bernie Sanders was going to be the nominee for the Democratic Party in 2016. Bernie Sanders, and again, it shows you the cuck that Bernie Sanders really is. He claims to be like an anti-authoritarian and he works against the system. That's just not the case. Bernie Sanders is nothing more than a phony and a fraud. And, he basically got railroaded by the Democratic Party. He got railroaded by the Democratic Party. He literally would have been the nominee and they just took it from him and they handed it to Hillary. And because they don't care about your vote. So they're worried about staying in power. Staying in power is all that matters. That's the point. And that's what they're going to work towards. I am watching the Michigan game right now. I have that on, I have it on one of my phones here. So it's like 14-3 Michigan beating Washington. I think Michigan's going to beat the shit out of Washington tonight. And I'm hoping they do. And then Jim Harbaugh can leave for the NFL and Michigan can go back to sucking. And Alabama will still be dominating for the next 5 years because Nick Saban ain't going nowhere. But that's neither here nor there. That's another time. We'll have that discussion for another time. Dom H dropped 5 gifted memberships. Lover of Green drops 5 gifted memberships. Veer drops 10 and says meant to send 50. Still waiting on Drunk Cobra Theory to come back. Lightning in a bottle blip. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, really, it's like, man, I just have so much going on that it's hard to, like, I really want to do this wrestling stream over on Cobra 199, but I got to work it in scheduling wise. And, man, there's a lot. I got a lot on my plate these days, but Drunk Cobra Theory, maybe we'll pull a good old McRib situation on that and just, bring it out occasionally here or there. You know what I mean? All right, let's, I don't know if we're going to watch the whole thing, but we got this President Trump interview, okay, with Lou Dobbs. So let's check out a little bit of this out and see what's going on. I have not watched this. This just aired. So we're going to check this out. I like Lou Dobbs.
Tonight, for those joining us for the first time this evening, this is our debut of Lou Dobbs Tonight on Frank's Speech and Lindell TV. And also our return for many of you who've been loyal viewers over the years, in some cases for decades. And now we resume our conversation that was unexpectedly and, in my opinion, somewhat rudely interrupted some 3 years ago. But that was then, and this is now. So let's see where we are. This can't be. That's right. We're still talking about a rigged election, a stolen election, just as we were 3 years ago. And almost nothing about the 2020 election has changed. There have been no meaningful investigations of the election irregularities, the many anomalies, and outright fraud. An election that was decided in 3 states by a margin of fewer than...
Lord Plaga says, Jeremy only reads my chat posts if I send him money. I think I will give my money to Tim Pool instead. Well, Tim Pool won't read it if you give him money. That's the difference. So there you go.
50,000 votes in those 3 states. Think of it. 50,000 votes out of more than 150 million votes cast in that election. And no investigations, no concern, just nothing to see here. Please keep moving on by. And the U.S. Supreme Court, state Supreme Courts, avoided their eyes from the claims, the evidence, the complaints, as did election officials, state legislatures, and governors in almost half the states in the union. There have been a few studies of voting machines since 2020, but a federal judge sealed the most important of those studies for 2 years. And when opened, that study revealed vulnerability to manipulation, but no conclusion about whether those vulnerabilities had been exploited. Remember, former Attorney General Bill Barr, he said a few weeks after the election that he had seen no evidence of voter fraud whatsoever. Well, that's because the FBI and the Department of Justice, it turns out, never investigated the 2020 election. Later, Attorney General Barr did acknowledge he knew that Joe Biden was a liar when he was on the stage of the second presidential debate in 2020. He declared the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian.
Barr is a female, okay? But Barr is the most feminine man I've ever seen, and that says a lot because there's a lot of feminine men out there. But Bill Barr is definitely one of the most feminine men ever.
Half of Joe Biden by saying nothing. And that wasn't an accident, was it? And doing nothing whatsoever. And there are, of course, the lying 51 intelligence agency veterans who signed a letter.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm fast forwarding. I love you, Lou, but I want to hear from President Trump. I don't know how long this lead-in goes, but how long is this lead-in, bro? Okay, here we go. Come on, Lou. We love you, Lou, but we're here for the star.
President Donald Trump. We talked at his home in Mar-a-Lago in South Florida, West Palm Beach.
Mr. President, it's great to see you. And we're now in the 8th year of the political persecution of President Donald J. Trump. You are taking incoming every day from the legal system, the Marxist Dems. Give us a sense of how you feel right now and what your sense is of this country that will permit such an outrage.
So I don't think there's ever been a time like this. I think we're very close to being at the end of our country as we knew it. A great country. It's Marxist, it's fascist, it's communist. It's what they're doing is incredible. What they've done with weaponization of DOJ, FBI, and others, all sort of reporting up. If it's a local DA or a attorney general, a state attorney general, I think it's a very dangerous time. The hope is 2024, because if we win, we're going to get that straightened out so fast. Because it's all people. It's the people from the top. It's a very dangerous time for our country. I really believe that. Then we have the wall where millions and millions of people are pouring into our country. We have the most incompetent president we've ever had, has no idea what's going on in the world, has no respect from the world. And numerous countries are coming up with nuclear weapons, which is the real global warming threat. Not the ocean will rise over the next 400 years by an eighth of an inch. And I think the country's in trouble. I think it's the most dangerous time in the history of our country. And a lot of that is weaponization, but a lot of that is nuclear weapons. I think that we were respected with me. We had tremendous control of things. Iran was behaving because they didn't have the money. Now they have tremendous money. I mean, they were broke. Now they have tremendous money. They've gained in the last 3 years hundreds of billions of dollars of wealth. I told China that if you buy, you're not going to do business with the United States. I told India, I told a lot. If you buy, you do no business with the United States. And we were dealing with Iran, and it was fine. It was actually very good. If you remember, there was no money going to Hamas. There was no money going to Hezbollah.
I just want to remind everybody, the man that we're looking at right here, the 45th president of the United States of America, this one man has the most disgusting and yet powerful and influential people in the world trying everything in their power, legally or illegally, to take him down. And he still stands and takes everything and moves forward. That says a lot about him.
There were stories about it because they didn't have any money. Now they have billions and billions of dollars, probably 127 billion, not including the $6 billion that you read about for the hostage swap. Another great deal, $6 billion for the hostages. So I think the country's in the greatest danger it's ever been.
I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
To a large extent, a big portion of that would be because we have a leader that doesn't know what to do.
You know, you say that this president is weak. You say that he is the issue. And so many people in the national left-wing corporate media are talking about why the rest of the world does not respect him. There is no policy that he has offered up that I perceive, at least, as being pro-America. The policies are Marxist in nearly every respect, whether it has to do with the American family, whether it has to do with sovereignty, border security, illegal immigration, foreign policy. You had created a modest foreign policy, bringing home our troops, withdrawing troops from foreign lands, and about 100 of them we have troops now. How does that make you feel to see that reversal of your policies that were creating such a great response on the part of the global nations?
So I was bringing them home, but also bringing them home from countries that don't even like us. We're protecting countries that took advantage of us and hate us in many cases. When you look at Afghanistan, the withdrawal, that was a big moment because I believe it was the most incompetent and embarrassing time in the history of our country. The way we withdrew, not the withdrawing, because I was withdrawing too, but we were going to do it with great strength and dignity. I believe that the withdrawal from Afghanistan, the way they did it, leaving $85 billion worth of equipment, $85 billion, think of it, behind, the best equipment in the world, leaving it behind. You know, I don't know if you know this, that the Taliban in Afghanistan now is one of the top 3 traders in military equipment. Because they don't need 700,000 guns and rifles. They don't need 70,000 vehicles, many of them armor plated. They don't need tanks and all of the things that we left. We left behind $85 billion worth of equipment, the best military equipment in the world. But most importantly, 13 soldiers dead, 38 soldiers horribly wounded, and hundreds of people killed. And it should have been.
Yeah, that was weird. It was a little Ben Shapiro-esque Trump. I don't like it. When Lou Dobbs was talking, we could speed it up, but not when the Don's talking.
Nothing. And we took the soldiers out. We took our military out before we took our American hostages out. You have people over there. You have still hundreds of Americans over there that haven't been able to get out. We should have taken everything out, and then you take your. You could ask a child, when would you take the military out? 5 years old, he'd say, you take the military out last. We took the military out first. So we were going to get out with dignity and strength, and we lost Bagram. Bagram was one of the biggest airfields in the world. And most importantly, not because of Afghanistan, but because of China. It's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. And to have that would have been incredible. I was never leaving there. We were going to keep that. And they fled Bagram. They really surrendered. The whole thing was just like, I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And Putin would have never gone into Ukraine anyway. But when he saw that, he said, this is the time to move because these people are incompetent. And as you know, President Xi's talking about Taiwan and lots of things we're not respected at all. And 3 years ago, we were greatly respected. And 3 years ago, we were energy independent. And you had gasoline selling for less than $2. And now you have it at $5, $6, $7, and even $8 a gallon. And it's what's happened to our country. And truly one of the worst things is when you have millions and millions. I know this, I've been your friend and I've been your watcher. I would watch you all the time, and I still do it whenever I can. But I know you very well. It must just drive you crazy when you see millions of people coming into our country and totally unchecked, from jails, from mental institutions, terrorists. We're going to be paying a big price. We're going to do.
We gotta get the CobraCast interview with Trump. And I'm walking in there rocking the hoodie and the hat, and we're gonna interview President Trump. And I'm actually gonna, and I got nothing against Lou Dobbs, okay? And I'm sure he's gonna get into some really good questions. I'm gonna ask Trump's the questions that need to be asked, because a lot of people that are interviewing him are asking the same kind of generic questions. He needs to be asked some different questions, and I'm sure he'll answer them, but he needs to be asked different questions. He just does.
Big deportation, by the way, which will make you feel slightly better. But they're coming in from the prisons all over the world. This isn't just in South America, all over Africa, in the Congo. The other day, people released from prisons in the Congo. In fact, some of these people make our prisoners look like very nice people. We have people in our country now that shouldn't be in our country. Millions of people are walking, just walking through our country. Right now, as we speak, they have the largest caravan of people, a name I came up with. And we stopped the caravans pretty quickly. But they have the largest caravan anyone's seen. And it's pouring in through Mexico, heading up to our country.
10 million, an estimated 10 million illegal immigrants just since Joe Biden took the Oval Office.
See, but the questions that we need to be asking President Trump, we need to be saying President Trump, okay? If I'm sitting across President Trump right now, I'm going, President Trump, I love you. I'm a huge fan, okay? Voted for you in 2016, voted for you in 2020, vote for you in 2024. I'll probably vote for you for the rest of the elections in my lifetime because you're that awesome. With that said, you did amazing things that no one else could do given the circumstances you were in. But it's clear that you had some personnel decisions that you clearly wish you could do over again. What are you going to do moving forward with a lot of that situation, like the rhinos, the deep state people, the people that were destroying your campaign and your presidency from within? How do you fix that moving forward? Let him answer it, Doug B
That is
for
extraordinary
50 on Rumble says, well, hello, Rumble 199. What's up, Dougie B?
Any measure. Yet there is no discussion amongst the business elites, the global business elites, no discussion from social critics in academia, our universities and colleges, nor our trading partners and military allies. It is an extraordinary development that no one could have imagined an American president inviting, which is exactly what this president has done.
He did. Well, he did. He said, come on at the beginning. So I said, don't come up because you're not getting through. And people wouldn't come up. They say, and I built a wall. I built 561 miles of wall, which is a big thing. You know, they said, oh, it's 50. Well, it's not 50 by any, but they say, oh, it's 50. Like this dope Chris Christie said, oh, it's 50 miles. No, it's way over 500. It's 561. And we had another 200 ready to go. We actually built it. And all we had to do is install it. Could have been up in about 3 weeks. And they wouldn't put it up. That's when I realized they actually wanted open borders. But the wall was great. And we also had Mexico paying for their soldiers. You know, we had 28,000 Mexican soldiers on our border. And they paid for it free of charge. It was a nice gift, but not easy to get. I had to say things that, you know, you don't want to really say, like we're going to tariff your product if you don't put them there. So we had the best numbers we've ever had. And now we have the worst numbers I think that any country's ever had. I don't think any country's ever had numbers like this. I don't care if it's third world or not. We have the worst numbers we've ever had. 3 years ago, we had the best numbers we've ever had. And that included not only people coming in, it included drugs, human trafficking. We had the best numbers at everything, almost every category that we've ever had. And now we have the worst numbers.
The worst numbers, and the numbers don't even express the dire circumstances that this country faces. Fentanyl, 100,000 deaths a year. Child trafficking. Health and Human Services can't track over 80,000 children that have crossed that border. China is a partner with Mexico and their drug cartels, and they are responsible for fentanyl and opiates coming from Mexico.
They make most of it.
And this president on Wednesday will be talking with Xi Jinping about a new relationship with a power that is expansionary, that is threatening the United States almost every month. Your reaction?
Well, the other thing is, remember that until I get indicted, I've been indicted more than Al Capone over complaining about a rigged election, over things that nobody can even believe. You read even these legal scholars, they can't even believe. So they've weaponized the DOJ. But remember this, Biden got money from China. He got money from Ukraine. They got money from many of these countries, but he got millions of dollars from China. And that's what they found. Now, if they find that, and it seems very conclusive, obviously, but if they find that, how much money didn't they find? Because it's not easy to find. And I think they have him over a barrel, frankly, because nobody can be so weak with China. What they're doing, you know, I took in billions, hundreds of billions of dollars from China, hundreds of billions of dollars. I gave our farmers $28 billion because, excuse me the language, but they were screwed by China for many years. And I went to Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture. How much is it? They said $28 billion. I took it out of the tariffs. I gave it to the farmers. But I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. No president ever took in 10 cents. It was a one-way deal. And I changed things around a lot. A lot of people think that's why we had the China virus, frankly, because they never had a problem like they did with me. But I don't think so. I think it was gross incompetence at the Wuhan lab. That's what I think. I really don't believe. You know, there are
Well, speaking of that, I mean, like, so the question becomes is what is the next pandemic or plandemic that they have in store? Because I'm just sorry, man. If you think that there is not something big that they have up their sleeve, you haven't been paying attention. So what is the plandemic for 2024? Because we're in 2024 now. It's here. You know, for we've been saying, like, man, 2024 is going to be crazy. Things are going to get off the charts. What's going to happen? We're here. We're in 2024. What is the plandemic this time? And I don't know the answer to that question. but they're going to come up with something. And my guess is Biden stepping down. Could you, like, I'm telling you, man, the energy, the enthusiasm of someone else taking over in these unprecedented circumstances right now, that gives them the energy they're looking for.
Those people that said they would have done anything to get rid of me. I actually had a very good relationship with President Xi, but once the China virus or COVID came along, it was a lot different. But it's so sad to see what's happened to our country in a short period of time. Inflation at a level that we haven't seen in 70 years. You look at what's going on with energy. You look at the lack of respect they have for us, but you just take a look at the lack of respect. The way China talks about our country now, they would never have said that with me. In fact, they had a policy 24 or 25, I guess it was 2025. And I said, I'd appreciate if you take that down because that's very insulting. In other words, that was going to be when they really take over everything economically. You heard that, right? China 2025. And I said to President Xi, it's a very insulting statement because you're really saying you're going to take over in 2025. And I know you're going to try, but we're going to try to have us keep the lead. And he took everything down, but now I see they're using everything was taken. It was all gone. One conversation was all gone. It's pretty sad to see.
You shut down the Trans-Pacific Partnership involving all of the Pacific powers.
Legalize Adulthood says Tim Pool can suck my MAGA member. Jeremy Grimes, Vegas golf joke. Wins every day. Ultra MAGA all the way, baby. Trump 2024 or go broke. 1,000%. And Valkyria Winter with a Hyundai and says Skull. What's up, Valkyria Winter? I haven't seen you here in a while, Valkyria Winter.
Indochina as well. Not China. And you've been roundly criticized over the course of the past year for that, which is a drumbeat by the Biden administration and its supporters in corporate America, trying to restore a TPP. And what's your reaction to that after you had killed the original, which would, in the minds of most, would have been devastating?
It was a disaster for our country. We would have.
I do agree. A lot of this is stuff that he covers in his rallies, and that's why, like, again, man, a lot of the interviewers, they just love the fact that they're interviewing President Trump, and it's like we need to get certain things addressed. And this is where Trump's surrounded by people that love him so much, and they're not willing to tell him what he needs to hear. I mean, everybody, no matter who they are, they need to hear things they need to hear. Don't dance around the issue. Like Lou Dobbs is literally just asking questions that he talks about at every fucking rally.
All of those cars are going to be made in China. They're not going to be made here. They're going to be made in China. The all-electric car, they don't go far and they cost too much. It's very simple. Somebody said, well, should we make it more complex? You don't have to. They don't go far and they cost too much. If you want to take a very short trip, it's nice. But if you want to go like beyond the state line without having to get it charged for 2.5 hours, it's so crazy what they're doing. They're destroying our country.
They're destroying the country. I think a lot of people have that sense. I know about half the population has that sense.
Yeah.
And there are people in this country, a lot of people, good, strong, healthy families that are fighting against these policies and their effects on middle America. You were the president who made the Republican Party the party of the working man and woman in this country, the American family. Give us your sense of what you will do to restore primacy to the forgotten men and women of this country who right now are fighting for their economic and their real survival.
So let me just say one thing that happened. So the Keystone XL pipeline, it was being built. It was moving along. It was a massive project going all the way down to the Gulf. It was a great project. 48,000 workers. He came in the first day he ended it. And by the way, the head of that union, the pipeline union, they have people that build pipelines have a union. the head of it endorsed Biden. Now, the workers, I guarantee they mostly voted for me, but they endorsed. And then as soon as he comes in, he got rid of all those jobs.
It is Lou Dobbs.
And all of the importance of that pipeline. It was such an important thing, but that's just one of so many different things. So what we'll be doing is we'll be drilling, we'll be reducing energy. That'll bring down inflation. That'll bring down interest rates. If you want to buy a home today, you're middle income and you want to go out to a bank, the banks, number one, don't have money. And if they do have money, they're loaning it at 9 and 10 and 11%, or not loaning it really at all. We have an economy that's incredible. We have an economy that's so fragile. And the only reason it's running now is it's running off the fumes of what we did, what the Trump administration. It's just running off the fumes. And when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. The one president, I just don't want to be Herbert Hoover. But what they've done is incredible. What they're doing with all of this money, the trillions and trillions of dollars of waste. This Green New Deal is, the Green New Deal will destroy our country. And I'm an environmentalist more than they are. But when you see the kind of monies that they're throwing around on building infrastructure that's no good, but environmentally friendly, on doing windmills all over the place that are by the way, the most expensive energy in the world. You cannot get more expensive. And now you notice it's all coming down because they're not working. It's not working. Economically, it doesn't work. It's 20 times more expensive than what we have under our feet, liquid gold. I call it liquid gold. We have more than any other country. And we'll be using it, and we'll be selling it to Europe, and we'll be doing a lot of things with it. We were going to sell massive amounts of oil and gas to Europe. They wouldn't have even needed the pipeline. It wouldn't have been able to compete with us. And we're going to make a fortune. We were going to start paying down debt. We owe $34 trillion. We're going to start paying down debt. Everything was going great. In fact, I was all set to do that. And then we got hit with COVID. We had to worry about that. And we did a great job with that, but we never got the credit for that one. I got a credit for a great economy. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I got credit for that, but never for the job. This dust came in from China. But even they tried to this day, they try and say it wasn't China, but it was China. It was the Wuhan labs, which I said right from the beginning.
All right, so I got a poll in the chat. Yes or no, keep watching right now. Yes is winning 54%, unlike certain channels and certain live streams with IRL in the name. We try to listen to our audience around here, so you guys continue voting.
We're going to pay down debt. We're going to reduce taxes further. We gave the largest tax cut in history, and we were going to pay down debt further. And we were doing a great job. And then we had a very unfortunate election. Now, I know who you're involved with, so I can say it here, but sometimes they say you'll cut it out. So, why? What's the purpose? But we had a rigged election.
We don't cut anything
No, you
out.
don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it with you. We had a rigged election. It was rigged, 100% rigged. And the question I get most is, number one, how do you take it? And I take it, I guess, because genetically I take it. I think I also take it because we're doing so well. We're leading everybody by so much. So that helps. But the other question I get the most, probably number two, maybe number one sometimes, is how do we stop them from cheating? People ask me, will they do it again, sir? Because, I'm in Florida now, and I drive
That's a good
to various
question.
locations and airports and places. Every house has a Trump sign on it. Trump 2024.
It is a good. It's one of the most important questions, and it's not like. Again, I'm fairly certain Lou Dobbs is not going to pounce on this, and he should. But what the hell what is the plan here? And again, I get that. Just like anything else, you don't want to tell the world in a public setting what the plan is, but it's to emphasize that this is crucial. This is crucial. Like, if they get 4 more years, you might as well kiss things goodbye. All right? Diversity, inclusion, and representation will take over. Identity politics will take over. Authoritarianism will take over. Like, it will be bad.
We got all the votes we need. The risk is what's going to happen during election period. It used to be election day or election night. They'd say election night. But today you don't have that. You have 60 days, 40 days, 30 days. You have some states where they have 8 days to count the vote after the election is over. How do you have an election when you have to count the vote for? And, you know, the machines are supposed to speed up the process, right? We ought to go to all paper. You know, they have now watermark paper. It's incredible what you can do with paper. Right. But we go all paper, same day voting, and voter ID, a little thing like voter ID. The Democrats are violently against voter ID because it will make it very hard for them to cheat. Can you imagine somebody saying, we don't want voter ID? You know.
Well, I know who does, and those are the Democrats, and they do for the very reason you're intimating.
Yeah.
They cheated in 2020. They cheated in 2022. Those are statements of fact. They're not. Somebody can dispute them, but the facts are straightforward. And one of the things that I've always found interesting is no one wants to say to you, relitigate 2020. The fact is, if this country doesn't come to its senses about how deceitful and crooked these elections are, and I'm talking about from the local to the presidential offices, we're going to have real problems. What
I agree with that. I agree with that, Lou Dobbs, and that's why I consider anyone running against Trump a complete coward and a complete traitor to the U.S. If you're running against Trump, you're running against America, because you're essentially saying that we can accept what happened in 2020, and we just can't. We just can't accept that. That is not acceptable on any level. You cannot accept what happened in 2020, and if you do, then you might as well kiss everything else goodbye. That can't go unanswered. It cannot.
I don't see from the Republican Party is a response. I don't see Ronna McDaniel in the NRC.
I agree with you.
Going after it. What would you like to see here? I know you've got more than a full plate. You're being assailed from every quarter. But what would you like to see the Republican Party, for which you are the titular head, do?
So when I won in 2016, I won. I went home and I watched. I did my thing. I did 7 rallies on the final day, maybe 7 rallies on the 2 final days, 7 and 7, and not a lot of people can do that. And they were full, big, beautiful rallies. Started in Florida, ended up in Iowa. One was 82 degrees, one was 3 degrees below zero. It's called pneumonia weather, right? That's beautiful because you go from that difference. But we did a great thing. And I went home and I watched the election, and I won the election. I never thought I'd have to watch votes. You know, that's supposed to be done by states, really, for the federal government, but it's supposed to be done by states. So we're supposed to have people watching it within the party. And they said they'll never let that happen again. And I was hearing those statements. I said, that's a weird statement, right? And they cheated. And they cheated at every different level in many different ways. And we have it all documented. We have so much documented, it's not even if you didn't want to get into the fact, like 2,000 Mules, where they, you know, you have them on camera stuffing the ballot boxes. Okay, how much? And they're all federal cameras, you know, this is all federal. And many of the cameras were missing. But they have hundreds of thousands of votes even at that. But don't even get into that. Don't get in when you see workers stuffing boxes with cameras, federal cameras. Go into the 51 intelligence agents where they said the laptop from hell, which exposed tremendous crime, was Russian disinformation. They all knew it was, and it was cheating. That was cheating. Go into all of the different legislatures where they didn't get approval to do all the stuff that they did. They had to get it from the legislatures, and they didn't. If you look at Wisconsin now, Wisconsin has essentially admitted that I won. I won the election up there. But they have a clause somewhere in some document, but you can't do anything after 30 days. You know, it's really, think of it, it's sick. They catch you cheating on the election. You're not able to do anything if you don't catch them in time. The Republicans do not fight the same way. They don't fight dirty. And I don't say anybody should fight dirty, but you got to fight smart. And they seem not to, you know, we have guys like Mitch McConnell. It's just like, it's hopeless. But we have great people now watching. And I tell them, I said, don't help me during the next period of time. Don't help me at all during the next year. I get all the votes. We're getting more votes.
One thing Trump said a few years ago, I think he actually said it before he became president, which was a very good point, and it's such a common sense thing, which is it's so obvious when it's said, but we've heard our leaders do it the wrong way so many times. But he's like, when you don't tell your enemy exactly what you're going to do through the news media, you don't tip your hand, you don't tell them the plan, you don't tell them what you're going to do when you're actively trying to defeat them. And he talked about that with like war, where we were, the media had all the information about the location of our troops and where they were going to have their strikes and all of that. So he obviously understands that you've got to be vague about a lot of those things, but hopefully there is something that they are having. And he just kind of said that a little bit, that we've got a lot of smart people watching things. So we'll see.
You need just watch that election period, secure the vote, really, because they don't secure the vote. And if they don't secure the vote, bad things can happen. Now, we have some very good people because now I'm involved in that. Who thought you would have had to be involved? I thought I'd campaign. I go home and I see what happens. But I campaigned, I went home, and then all of a sudden I see it looks like Pennsylvania is going to be ours by a lot. And then at 3:02 or whatever it was in the morning, all of a sudden they're finding all sorts of stuff. And look what's happened to our country because of it. It's a different country. This is a different country than it was 3 years ago. It's a country that's no longer respected. It's a country that our energy is a disaster. Think of it, we have more than anybody else, and we are paying the highest prices. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Our energy, if we bring that down to where it should be, will reduce inflation. You have to get it back. What they say, well, we're only at 4% now, but it's 4% over the biggest increase in history. So people are being absolutely killed. It's very interesting. If you go back and study inflation, inflation is a country buster. You can go back years ago, many years ago in Germany where they had big inflation, destroyed the country. It destroys countries. And it, along with many other things, are destroying this country. But we have so many things. The border, millions and millions of people coming in. You can go, there's not one thing in this country now that works, that's good. I mean, you can't say, well, he's good at this or he's good at that. Everything is bad.
He's right about that.
Inflation is horrible. Everything is bad. There's nothing that you can say, well, except he did a great job here.
That is so accurate. Like, ask someone that supports Biden. Can you name one thing this man has done? Just name one thing that this man has done that's an improvement over the Trump administration. There is nothing.
He didn't do a great job on anything. You go through the 10 or 12 major things, every one of them is a disaster. And we have to change it or we're not going to have a country left.
Much of the country, I think more than half of the country, certainly wants you to be the president elected in 2024. How confident are you that you can win and overcome all that you must? Indictments, the full array of the federal government against you, whether it's the federal get off the vote executive action taken by President Biden 3 months after he was in office. He meant to weaponize the government from the very beginning. And you've got a party that is right now working against itself, whether it's in the House of Representatives, whether it is a number of lesser known personalities, I'll put it that way.
Well, even
think
having
they should
debates,
be the nominee.
Lou, even having debates, I'm up 64 points and they're having debates and they hit me at the debates. Although mostly they're hitting each other, but the party should be unified. The party shouldn't be having debates. You have a 64-point lead.
Yep.
The weaponization is interesting because the people get it. And, I have a big platform. I can talk to people like you. I can talk to others. And when you explain it, they understand it. My numbers have gone up. I don't think my numbers would be anywhere near. Who would think this is possible? Think of it. You get indicted on ridiculous stuff, along with other people that were very decent people. You see some of the people, these are high quality, wonderful people. They've been, they want to destroy these people. But you get indicted, you explain it to the public, and your vote goes up. That's never happened before. If you get indicted, normally you go to the microphone, you announce you're retiring, You want to spend more time with your family? You know, it's the standard phrases that they use, and you want to clear your name. My numbers have gone through the roof because people see it's a hoax, just like Russia was a hoax. You were the first one to see that. You and a small group of people knew the Russia thing was a hoax. And if we had a strong attorney general instead of a man that was petrified, he would have done something about it. Maybe you can still do something about it. You know, you do have a 6-year statute of limitations. But Barr was a coward. He didn't have the courage to do what he should have done. When they said they were going to impeach him, he became a marshmallow, a big marshmallow. And he became weak. He was petrified. He didn't want to be impeached. I said, I got impeached twice and my numbers went up. You remember that? I got impeached twice and my numbers went up. So I'm a little inverse from people. But he was petrified of doing it. Now, how don't your numbers and how don't you get in trouble with the other party, which say what you want about them. They could keep their Congress nice and easy. They always got 100%. Did you ever see a negative vote? They always got 100%. So they could impeach me. And I had 100% of the Republican Party, but they had a slight majority, right, in the House. So Nancy Pelosi, who's a crazy, horrible person, actually, she impeached me over nothing. She impeached me where I was right, because if you look at the Ukraine thing, I turned out to be right. The laptop says, in fact, when they saw the laptop, they said the laptop proved that Trump was 100% right. That should have never been indicted. The other should have never been. So they indicted me 4 times. Al Capone was only indicted. Al Capone was the greatest of them all in terms of the gangsters, right? Scarface. He was indicted once. I was indicted 4 times. But the good news, it's over nothing. I call them the Biden indictments. What they've done is they go after their political opponent. That's a precedent. It's like the precedent of giving $6 billion to Iran for releasing 5 people. And that's a bad precedent, because now all of a sudden you can see a lot of people missing. I never paid anything. You know, we got out 58 hostages. I never paid 10 cents, never. Because once you pay, the precedent's bad. The precedent on doing what they did with using the weaponization, using the DOJ, the FBI to go after the political opponent, that is so bad, because that means that I can do it too. In other words, the Pandora's box is open, and that means that I can do it too, and I don't want to do it. But they've opened something that's never been opened in this country. It's been opened and done in third world countries pretty effectively, but it's never, or banana republics, but it's never been done in this country, and certainly never like this. And the people get it. We have to win in 2024. If we don't win in 2024, we have not got a country anymore. I really believe that. I know you believe it.
It's
I know
true.
You believe it probably even more strongly than me. But if we don't win, this is the most important election we've ever had.
It's not hyperbole to say that. It's not. And it's just, look how far we've fallen in just 3.5 years since Joe Biden has taken over. It's not hyperbole. It's not. It's this is as serious as it gets. The circumstances are dire, and it really is. We are kind of at ground zero of this whole thing. Like, this is bad. This is bad. 2024 is the end game.
I used to go around saying 2016 was the most important, and it was. At the time, I thought it was the most important because we were heading in the wrong direction. And it was important, but nothing compared to what we have now. If we don't win this election, I really believe this country is done.
I think millions and millions of Americans agree with you. And as you correctly said, I believe exactly that myself. I'd like to close on an optimistic note. And if you would, give us a sense of what you would do in terms of ending the hostilities, the war between Ukraine and Russia, what you would do to support Israel, to make certain that they don't have to live with terror every minute of every day of their existence.
I have to say, before I even start to give you that answer, which is very doable, by the way, but it was a lot better in the old days when I was there, because it would have never happened. Ukraine would have never been invaded, and Russia would not have done that. And Putin and I had a very good relationship, and I have with Zelensky a very good relationship. But you remember he was the one that said they're crazy when they said, "Did he threaten you?" You know, he actually said, "No." He could have done a grandstand and said, "Well, I felt threatened." He didn't do that, so I respect him. You understand that? But I have a relationship with both, and I say I will have that settled before I take office. If I win as president-elect, I will get that bloodbath settled. And the numbers are much bigger. You know, the number of people that are dying, when you see those buildings coming down all over the place, there are a lot of people in those buildings. And then you hear 2 people were injured. 2 people were sent to the hospital with minor injuries, and they dropped these massive buildings. I'll get Ukraine settled. Israel, something is going to happen. I think probably by the time we get to office, something either very negative or positive, but I think negative because we don't have a leader. This should have never happened. They would have never attacked Israel. That horrible attack, which was a horrible attack. And the amazing thing is that people don't talk about the attack anymore. They don't talk about that. They only talk about the other side. And something has to be done very quickly. The problem with that one is that some really bad things can happen fairly quickly. And that includes other nations getting involved that are pretty big nations with millions of soldiers. And they talk about it openly. They talk about it openly because they have no respect for the United States anymore. They have no respect for the leader of the United States. And it's a big problem. But if I get in, and I hope I do, because I love our country, and I never like to say, I will win, because I think that's foolish to say. I think we have a great chance. We have to keep their cheating down to a minimum. You can't stop them totally, but we have to keep it down to a minimum. And one of the best ways is we have to swamp them, to use a term, the opposite meaning.
100%.
We have to swamp them. You have drained the swamp and then swamping them. But we have to swamp them, because there comes a point where they can't, where it's just too big to cheat. But they will go as high as they can. These are people that, if you think about it, if you have open borders, if you have high gasoline prices, high interest rates, you can't buy a home, the school system stinks, everything is bad. How do you win an election? There's only one way: you have to cheat. They cheat. And they've done it for years, but nobody ever saw anything like it in 2020. And you can't let that go. People, they use the term election denier. I'm an election denier. I'm an absolute election denier. I wish I didn't have to do that, because we should have won that election. But you look at it, and the people, you have to learn from history. So people forgot that. What they did in Atlanta was a terrible thing. They never go after the people that cheated. They only go after the people that are looking at the people that cheated, because they don't want the answers, and they know the answers. I'm going to be releasing something having to do with Georgia very soon. I don't know what's foolproof, what's not, but it's pretty foolproof. It's massive theft, massive theft. I'm going to be releasing things on other states. I view this as an opportunity. A lot of people would say, well, that's a lot of big stuff. But when you look at, even now, let's go to a slightly different subject, but it's all corrupt. We have a very corrupt country. January 6th, what's happened to those people is not believable. What's happened to them, policemen, firemen, lawyers, military people, what's happened, and yet nothing happens on the other side. I was watching the other day as a fence was being destroyed at the White House and painted over. I built that fence, it's a titanium fence. It's an incredible job we did, because the other was no longer capable of doing the job that you may have to have. And when I watched the horror that they were doing to the White House with the spray paint all over the place, and horrible, nothing's going to happen to those people. Nothing will happen to them. But you go to J6 and you see, a little thing came out a couple of months ago that they have destroyed all the evidence. You know that? They've destroyed. They've taken that hearing, which was a total sham, with all Democrats, and 2 Republicans that were far worse than any Democrat that ever lived. Okay, two very sick Republicans. I mean, Liz Cheney's a sick person. I was responsible for her defeat in her state, where she couldn't be beaten. And by the time we finished, she got the lowest vote in the history of politics for a sitting congressman losing. Because most of them, when they're that low, they just resign before they go through an election. But when you see what they did, they got rid of all of the stuff and they announced it. We have deleted and essentially thrown out. They threw out everything, almost everything. I guess maybe they saved a couple of good things for them. They threw out all the statements about Nancy Pelosi not wanting the soldiers. If she would have done that, you wouldn't have had a J6. They threw out all of the statements made by the police chief about Nancy Pelosi and about others. And then I believe he died. But you had others that said a lot of bad. There was a lot of bad things. How about me grabbing a Secret Service agent who's young and very strong, being slightly rebuffed, and I go to the one on the other side of the car, and I grabbed him around the neck. Actually, a lot of people said, "I didn't know you were that strong." You know, one of them was like a black belt or something. They said, "That was impressive." It's not impressive. Such a lie. You know, I mean, this stuff was made up. They got rid of everything. They got rid of just about all. It was thrown out. So look, we have a country that's lost its way. We have a failing nation, and we're going to turn it around. We have to win in 2024. We cannot allow anybody else. They don't have the votes. The only way they can win is to cheat. And again, their policies, it's not possible that 30% of the people want to have open borders where criminals are allowed to come into our country and do terrible things to them and everyone else. It's not possible. They have the worst policy. It's not even believable policy, including their environmental stuff, which is going to destroy our country. It's going to destroy our country. And nobody's more important. Nobody loves the environment. I want clean air. I want clean water, crystal clean. I want everything. But if we don't win the election in 2024, I really believe that America is finished. If we do, I think we can bring it back to a level greater than ever before.
President Donald Trump.
There we go. President Donald Trump, Lou Dobbs. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if Trump's there, it's going to be entertaining because Trump is entertaining. But, I love you, Lou Dobbs. I don't know how old Lou Dobbs is, but that was a pretty kind of standard, kind of generic Trump interview. Not a whole lot of different stuff that was asked of him that you can't get from a Trump rally. But because Trump is so damn entertaining, of course it's entertaining to watch. So we got through that. It was awesome. Good stuff indeed. And shout out. Listen, this is the best. To me, this is the best headline I've seen in a long time. Legalize adulthood. Dropping 20 gifted memberships. Let's go. We are live on Kick. We are live on Rumble. We're closing in on 2,000 concurrent viewers here on YouTube. Look at this headline. Look at this headline. Howard Stern has gotten 8 COVID shots and boosters and still wears masks. Just got COVID and he can't understand how it happened. I don't know how Howard Stern has fallen so far, but this headline it symbolizes everything wrong with the loony left. It symbolizes all of it. It's so damn good. It's always funny to see this. 8 COVID shots and some boosters, still wears a mask. And he got COVID, and he's just asking, how the hell did that happen? Yes, Howard Stern, you have lost the plot completely. Again, can we recognize that Howard Stern, once upon a time, was someone that was considered to be the shock jock, the most controversial man on the radio, the definition of controversy, and now he's the poster child for a beta cuck. A complete poster child for a beta cuck. It really is amazing. It really is amazing. All right, let's catch up on the chat here. Mark K, for 1990, which is a 199. What do you call a president that will do anything and everything to imprison his political opponent? a dictator. You damn right. You damn right. Hayden Wayne for 20 says, I just want to know, what are we going to do about the rampant corruption? What is the vetting process for staffers? How do you clean up the military? What do you do to stop the rampant medical malpractice against children? These are phenomenal questions, Hayden, and this is like what I'm saying. Like, you know, we've got to get down to the, and it's not about like Trump is going to give the Trump answer he's going to give. I totally understand that. I'm not looking to like press Trump to say something he doesn't want to say to the public. I just want him to understand that this is a valid concern from the people. The vetting process for who you're bringing into the White House. How do you know? How can you trust these people, Mr. President? I personally have no idea how you go day to day and have a conversation with anyone. I don't know how you have a phone call with anyone. I don't know how you share emails or private messages with anyone, because everyone is gunning for you. You're the most famous human being on this planet, and you have the most powerful people in the world, the most influential and powerful people trying to take you down. How do you operate on a day-to-day basis? How do you do that? I don't understand how you're able to maneuver through all of this. It doesn't make sense to me. And then you kind of bleed that into like, how do you do the vetting process for the people that you want to bring in? How do you trust them? How do you know you can trust them? Because you obviously need people that are somewhat qualified, you know? So, yeah, here's what it is. Disco Cobra for 50 says, I mean, I get the support for Trump. I really do. Do you think they will do the same thing they did in 2020? If the people in power really want to keep that power, then what's stopping them? All I know is I'm more focused on the Bible now more than ever. Nothing but respect to that, Disco Cobra. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think that there's never been a straight up like election that has been fair. I don't think so. I don't think that's ever happened. And I think you're kind of crazy if you think that that's happened. Powerful people are in powerful positions because they want to keep power. They don't like when the people have the power. They never have. And the system is made to keep power from the people. They give you the illusion that you have power. But the reality of it is you don't really have any power. That's the truth of it. So I don't think we've ever had a fair election. That's just, calling it like it is. With that said, I also don't think we've ever seen anything like 2020, because what you saw is, throughout history, we've always had people on both sides of the political aisle be very mad about the opponent winning. So when George W. Bush was there, you had the Democrats screeching and crying when George W. Bush was there. When Bill Clinton was there, you had the Republicans screeching and crying. When Barack Obama was there, you had the Republicans screeching and crying. Donald Trump elevates everything. Donald Trump as a human being, as a personality, he elevates everything. He just does. He's just that guy. He turns the needle. And so the Trump element, the TDS element, and the fact that he bucks the system so much, I'm not saying that it's not like people had power for like the first time or something like that, but what you were starting to see with MAGA, with Trump becoming a wonderful president, when they saw, so this is where the desperation set in. They underestimated Trump in 2016. They didn't think that he was really serious enough to do it. They didn't think enough people would turn out to vote for him. They underestimated Trump in 2016. And they kind of got caught with their pants down, and they were shocked. Then they were banking on, okay, well, it's Donald Trump. He's going to fuck up. He's going to fuck up. He's not going to be a good president once he gets in. And we're going to work against him. The system's going to work against him. And everything is going to be kind of chaotic because there's no way this man can actually turn the country around and do the things he needs to do. And he's going to lose support along the way. And everything is going to line up. Well, the exact opposite happened. Not only did he turn the country around, he did it in spite of all of the powers that be on the Democratic side and the Republican side trying to stop it. So he overcame all of that, even with all the obstacles in the way. And so 3 years in, they're all looking at us going, this dude did the impossible again. This dude did the impossible again. Now people love him even more. We have to do something catastrophic to stop this. Enter COVID. So I think that they had to go and throw a Hail Mary out there. And in the process, it kind of really did expose the entire corruption of the system. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Now here we are where they don't have that same leeway. So now there's going to be a closer eye on all of this. So that means that they can't do it the same way they did in 2020. So, and MAGA is more powerful than it's ever been. Donald Trump is more powerful and influential and popular than he's ever been. That creates a lot of problems. So there you go. That's what I say. Bobby Lachey says, that thumbnail physique seems familiar. Yes. Jimmy Ray for 10 says, Democrats should change their mascot from a donkey to a surprised Pikachu. Husey Patrol says, Bama sucks, but you're awesome. Ha ha ha. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm watching. I've got the Michigan-Washington game on, and I think it's 17-10 right now. It looks like it's at halftime. Golden Nugget says, elites building bunkers. What's going on? I think they're a little nervous. Alan Tenassi says, Big Mike needs one of those tuck things from Target. Scanning in, all hail, and shout out to Side Scrollers. Shout out to Side Scrollers. By the way, programming update. Some of you are going to know this person. All right. I got 2 guest announcements. Okay. 2 guest announcements. All right. So Tuesday night's main event on the Geeks and Gamers channel tomorrow night, we're going to have Malcolm Flex on. Some of you may know Malcolm. Malcolm has been on Timcast a few times. He kind of runs in the political sphere. Malcolm is a good dude. I had a good call with him yesterday, and I really like Malcolm. We've been following each other on Twitter for a while. We've had a few interactions, and we got to talking. Going to bring him on Tuesday night's main event tomorrow, so that's going to be cool. And then on Thursday, we're doing a special CobraCast on Thursday, and it's going to be Scott Pressler here on CobraCast on Thursday. That's right. So, me and Scott, we connected a little bit and talked to you guys, tagged him on Twitter. So we're going to have Scott Pressler on for a special CobraCast on Thursday this week. That's right. Thursday night CobraCast. Scott Pressler is coming to the snake pit, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk to him about his, efforts to get registered Republicans. And he is committed to defeating Joe Biden. So we're going to make that happen. So that's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So a really cool week, here. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. All right. And again, Thursday CobraCast with Scott Pressler. Yeah, Malcolm is cool. So he's going to be on Tuesday night's main event tomorrow on Geeks and Gamers. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah, man, good stuff here. Good stuff in the works. And that's a testament to all of you for being supportive of this show, for the numbers that we're turning. We're doing really, really good. We've got several hundred people over on Rumble tonight. So yeah, that is cool. So let's see. All right, where are we at? Let's see. I'm trying to find. Oh my God, move, you stupid thing. Why is Twitter so dumb sometimes? I don't really understand why Twitter is so dumb sometimes. Nick Skyberg says, Jeremy, I believe there's footage of Trump in the Beast fighting Secret Service. I wonder if you can show the clip. Is there some type of meme out there? Let's see here. All right. I'm trying to find this clip right here. If I can find it. Not the clip you're talking about. So, but there's another clip that I'm looking for. And of course, we do have Mario Kart tonight. Okay, we do have Mario Kart on the Geeks and Gamers Play channel. So make sure that you are subscribed to that channel. We are going to raid that for sure. All right, here we go. Right here. All right, so Cellular Dream says Scott has a wife. Jeremy, does Scott have a wife? Scott Pressler? I don't know. I thought someone said he was gay. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know much about Scott Pressler. So outside of like I've seen him in the Sphere or whatever, and I know he gets a lot of shit from like hardcore people on the right, and they're like, "Oh, you're feminine" and all that stuff. But like, if you look at the work Scott's doing out there, man, dude is crushing it out there. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't care what his sexuality is, to be honest. So, but he's going to be here in the Snake Pit. Let me see. Yeah. Nick Napoli says no Fortnite. Yeah, we're playing Fortnite. I'm playing Fortnite on Cobra 199 after Mario Kart. All right. That's what's up. The chat's just going crazy. So, gay and late. Oh, man. Man, I was hoping we were going to break 2,000 viewers tonight. We have broken 2,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube every CobraCast in 2024. We peaked at about 1970, like 1970, I believe. So I don't think we'll break it tonight, but that's okay. We've got 250 on Rumble, and we're live on Kick. Woof, we are rocking and rolling tonight, man. People are everywhere, and I love it. All right, so Elon Musk is just trolling everybody right now. And let's see. So right here, look at this Elon Musk tweet. Let's switch around some words. So, is this like a meme or something? So is this like a meme with Mark Cuban? Did they meme it? And then Elon Musk retweets it and just says, Mark Cuban is a racist. He just straight up says it. Mark Cuban is a racist. And then people are commenting, like, how is this app free? Elon Musk says the only way to prove he is not racist and sexist is to put an Asian woman and a white woman on his basketball team. Bro, I love Elon Musk so much. Elon Musk, the most followed man on Twitter, one of the most influential human beings on the planet. And he's just trolling other billionaires like crazy. It's fantastic, dude. I love Elon Musk so much. I just wish Elon and Trump could get on the same page. I really do. I wish they could get on the same page because it is just hilarious. It is hilarious to see Elon out there just triggering these fools, man, just triggering them. Eric K says they have just started euthanizing cows and plowing up fields. They are planning for a food shortage for the next president. I mean, they're going like, yeah, I mean, they're going to sabotage Trump, his presidency. They're going to try to anyway. Zinny Biscuit says, my cousin got me into clogging, and after about 20 years, I got her back into clogging. Look at that. That's awesome. Shout out to you, Zinny Biscuit. DJ Fitzy says, this is the best Big Mike pick. Yeah, again, if you're curious about the thumbnail, okay, I just Googled Big Mike Obama. Michelle Obama. I just Googled Michelle Obama. And look, WWE, I've gotten back into WWE recently, but there was like a 10-year gap where I was really checked out. I didn't know Michelle Obama won the WWE championship. Credit to Michelle. I'm happy. I didn't know that, but I just Googled Michelle Obama. See Michelle rocking the WWE championship. I'm like, well, damn. Let me put that on the thumbnail. That's all it was. I don't know what the big deal is. I didn't realize Michelle was in WWE. That's awesome. Congrats. Shandog says, I see Mark Ruffalo destroyed himself again on X. Yeah, so Mark Ruffalo shared like this AI image of Donald Trump surrounded by a lot of young women on an airplane. It was clearly an AI image, but Mark Ruffalo shared it, claiming that Trump was guilty of all these horrible things. The community note said, it's an AI image, you fucking idiot. It didn't call him a fucking idiot, but yeah, so it, Mark Ruffalo is a crazy person, an absolute psychopath. Occam's Razor says, I'll never vote for Newsom. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go. Cole Hauser says, hey, Jeremy, a friend, David Menzies, Rebel reporter, got arrested for doing his job covering a liberal minister. It's trending on X and YouTube 199. Really? Okay. See if I can look that up. That's crazy. Shout out to you, Cole Hauser. East Coast Toasted Boy says, oh, the joys of browsing the internet. I was scrolling through YouTube comments and some mental midget said Biden and Trump were two sides of the same coin. Yeah, I see that a lot. I see a lot of people saying that Biden and Trump are essentially the same. And listen, man, I'm not telling you have to like President Trump, but you have to be fucking retarded if you think that him and Biden or him and any other politician are the same. You have to be a fucking idiot to think that. You just do. Westward Smile says, did you see the Trump vid on 11 Films YouTube? I did not. Get Woke Up Broke says, Trump has to build that powerhouse cabinet. No snakes in the cabinet. 100%, man. He's got to step up and do it. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, g'day and hail the 199. I feel a lot better after my stint with the beer bug. I feel still got a bit of coughing and tight chest, but not wearing a mask. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. And the snake pit is happy indeed. I got that one from Nick Skyberg already. Cellular Dream says, Dan Vask is his wife. All right, Cellular Dream, you got me on that, you crazy bastard. I love you, Cellular Dream. I did not. That was good. Yo Pop says, Mike would get his thing caught in the turnbuckle. Fantastic Mr. Knox dropped 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. Disco Cobra says, would the Tuesday Night's Main Event crew ever get Alex Jones on? I know Nerdrotic has the bigger pull, but that would be cool. Either that or even the D-Day Cobra special stream, since it's more political. He was dope on F&T, so I don't know, just a thought. So yeah, I mean, when the opportunity came up for Alex Jones, I considered bringing him on Geeks and Gamers, but I decided I took it to Gary, and I'm like, Gary, I think bigger audience. How do you think about Alex Jones on FNT? And he's like, let's go. I love Gary. I love Friday Night Tights. Friday Night Tights is a part of Geeks and Gamers. Like, it's a Geeks and Gamers show. Like, it's obviously Gary. Gary's a rock star. And I'm all about just helping in any way I can. And that's the thing about, like, being surrounded by people or whatever. That's why I'm very happy with the online friend group I have and the people that I stream with. There's no egos involved with anything. There's people that have tried to use that stuff against us. It's never going to work. It's never going to happen. People are like, oh, Gary's channel's gotten so much bigger than Jeremy's now. He must be jealous. You're fucking retarded if you think that. Gary is awesome. He's going to hit 1 million subs soon. And I will do anything I can to continue to help Gary, as he will do anything to help me and G&G, because that's what friends do. And so, yeah, but I can 100% get Alex on if that's what I choose to do. So it's not a matter of, like, you know, would I or wouldn't I. It's just a matter of just timing and all that. But yeah, I would love to get Alex on. So 100%. Let's see here. Where are we at? Vault 95 says, what's up, D-Gay Cobra? Here watching a real man's IRL show. The Beanie Boy can wait for a view. The Trump Magic 8 Ball is fun, and the Rumble chat is superior to the YouTube chat. Hail the 199. Thank you so much. Vault 95 says, Big Mike says the people should decide their leader, but also admits they are terrified that the people will choose Trump, questioning if they were actually real choices before 2016. Yeah, Big Mike kind of exposed Big Mike's self right there, for sure. There's Dougie B with that 50 on Rumble. Doug B in the house. Vol 95 says, part 1, America hasn't been invaded militarily since because it's too big. It took 3 empires 12 years to bring down German in World War II, and Germany is half the size of Texas. The globalists must have spent decades working on and implementing the current plans for destroying the United States. Good news, the NWO's grandchildren are now in charge of the family business. Darmouth says, Jeremy, you gay fig. How are ya? Let's have a great night. Trump 2024 199. Thank you. Oh, Roscoe says, Mark Cuban is a fig. Vault 95 says, Jeremy, on Thursday, would you be willing to donate Rumble Rant money to Scott to help fund a record-breaking donation night? The 199 will prove it. I actually like that idea. I like that idea 100%, actually. Yeah, let's do something. Let's do it. Sumo Orange says, if Trump were on it, it would get mysteriously leaked and used to cover up others. The DeSimps are the only ones running with this, and they cope. 100% Sumo Orange, I agree. The nonsense with the narrative of, like, Trump's the only person that's actually tried to help in any of the efforts with the Epstein stuff. He's the only one that'll admit, he's the only powerful name that's had any connection to Epstein that's been willing to talk about it and acknowledge it and call it out. The rest of them avoid it at all cost. RX Firm says, my dear overlord, my friend and I are creating a channel to join you all in the Iron Age. Trump 2024, hail 199. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. That's awesome. Look at that. We just broke 2,000 viewers. Every show in 2024 has broke 2,000 on YouTube. Shout out to the audience. Thank you, guys. Black Tailgate, member of the Snake Pit. Thank you for becoming a member. Let's see. Yo Pop says, get Alex Jones on Fortnite or Titanfall. If I was going to get out, and I've talked to Alex Jones about this, I said, like, I want to get you to play Fortnite. I'm sorry, Mario Kart. I want to get Alex Jones to play Mario Kart with us. That's what I want. It's like, again, I don't, Geeks and Gamers is not a political brand, even though that we get branded that. Like, it's about playing games, having fun, and talking shit with each other. And so having Alex Jones play Mario Kart would be the greatest thing ever. It would be the greatest thing ever. But let's see. Where are we at? Boromir, so Destiny eats corn the long way. Hail the 199. Absolutely. Twilight Media Corp says, though it may be old news to the 199, for the newbies this year, could you tell us the origin of the 199? I absolutely can. I'll just show you the clip, because again, I know we have so many new people coming in here. So people ask, like, what's the 199? What's the 199? How did it start? Yada, yada, yada. This is how the 199 started, because of the lovely and wonderful chat. As always, here we go. It's going to be great.
I can't wait for that. Hold on. I got to address someone in the chat here. We got Awesome Guy.
Awesome Guy. What's up, Awesome Guy?
Celebration cringe. Are you retarded? Star Wars Celebration has been a thing since 199.
199?
I don't know who the fuck you are. I just got this stream on my recommended for some reason. Stop being reactionaries. Well, Awesome Guy. I'm sure the chat's going to love you. But Awesome Guy, if you want Star Wars Celebration cringe, I am here. I'm here to give that to you. Don't fucking worry.
199. 199.
Since 199.
None of the chats.
All right. It's been around for almost 2,000 years, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Dude, that could have went so many different ways. I mean, we could have called it like 19.9. We could have called it, like 199. We called it 199. The chat started saying we are the 199, and the chat started taking over. And then again, we thought it was kind of a one-off thing. Like, oh, okay, that was funny. Ha, ha, ha. The next day, we set the stream up for Geeks and Gamers Daily that takes place Monday through Friday over on the Geeks and Gamers channel at 11 Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. We set up the stream, and the whole chat is just like, we are the 199. We are the 199. We are the 199. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and so I was like, Ryan, this is our thing, bro. This is us. This is us. So yeah, it was awesome. So again, the chat always wins. The chat always wins. That is just a fact of, anything that has to do with me or Geeks and Gamers, the chat always wins. That's the bottom line. That one guy says Tim Pool sucks. CobraCast is better. Hell yeah, let's go. Darth Gavel says Trump did say he would be a dictator on day one. That's when he needs to deal with the traitors and to sabotage his presidency. 100%. Let's see. Rastlin Majir becomes a member. Thank you for becoming a member. Dave Arrowway says, glad you made it this far. A light in the dark, Jeremy. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nips Litter says, thank you for the content, Jeremy. Keep up the good work. Keep fighting the good fight. I appreciate you, Trump 2024. Thank you. Guy the Guardian 199 says, I pre-ordered my 199 backpack around Christmas, and I can't wait to use it on my walks in the hall. 199. Thank you. Yeah, those should be shipping out fairly soon. I can actually get an update for you on that. But yeah, should be pretty soon. Zamizzi says, another month over thanks to those who gifted the memberships that GPT got me to this point. Yeah, man. We have a very giving chat. There's a lot of gifted memberships on these streams. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of this. So I thank all of you in the chat that continue to look out for each other. Super fucking cool, man. Eric K says, Alex Jones party animals would be epic. Yo Pop says, what do we have to do to get Ryan to read all the soups? Maybe one day I'll bring him back on Tuesday Night's Main Event. We'll see. Yo Pop says 199. Yeah, I did a poll of like, do you guys want it to be 199 or 199? And overwhelmingly, it was voted 199. Overwhelmingly. So I was like, all right, the people's voice matters. The people's voice matters. Now, let's see here. We have Rumble, Kick, YouTube. Again, I appreciate you guys that take your time to... Apparently, Kick... Everybody, I don't really watch streams on Kick. Here's what I want everybody in the audience that can multitask or whatever. It's fine if you can't. People keep telling me that the streams look better on Kick. They say every stream looks better on Kick than any other platform. They say it looks better on Kick than YouTube. Eric K, you can drop a link to Kick if you want, to my Kick. But everybody says that the Kick streams look significantly better. I don't know if that's the case or not. But it's interesting. But everybody says that. Everyone. And it looks like we're over 1,000 likes. And then we got Mario Kart on Geeks and Gamers Play. And then after that, again, I this blows my mind, okay? And I talked about this in the beginning. This blows my mind. Sally Ito says it does. Okay, see? But this right here blows my mind. I still am having... I don't understand this. And I want to be clear. I am not, here, let's see here. Let me pin one of these really quick. Pin message. Did that pin the right one? Chat was moving on me fast. So there we go. Okay. So this blew my mind when this happened because someone came in my chat and said this to me and I was like, this must be not true. And then they said it like a week ago. And so last night when I was streaming on my gaming channel, I asked everybody to search it out, and it was the case. On a channel with 3,000 subscribers, we had the second biggest Fortnite stream on YouTube based on live concurrent viewers. I was also live on Kick and Rumble, and we had the second biggest stream on YouTube at that moment, which is insane to me. 700 viewers, something like that. That's crazy. That's insanity. It blows my mind. So, again, I'm going to keep playing that game. We have fun. The audience clearly enjoys it. At least some of you. I know the other, I feel like half of you fucking hate it and half of you love it. So, and I'm not trying to be Ryan Johnson here, but that's why the gaming channel was made. That's why I don't put the gaming streams on this channel. I leave this for more the political stuff right here. But yeah, it was amazing, man. I was like, what the hell? That's insane, bro. Now again, context is important because there are some big dogs like Doc and Tim the Tap Man and all those guys. If they went live, I stand no chance against them. But on that giving moment, we were the number 2. So that was pretty fucking cool. All right, let's see here. Doug B, you mad lad. just dropped 5 gifted memberships over on Kick. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I really want Rumble. I really want Rumble to get gifted memberships. I really wish they would get that. I'm going to have to talk to them. But I know they're working on it. I know they're working on it. All right. Judicon says they are not lying. The audio and video is more crisp and clear looking, and the sounding on Kick, Jeremy. Okay. So, yeah, that's what a lot of people have said. A lot of people have said Kick, just the quality is better on Kick. That's what they've been saying. That's wild, man. How is that possible? Wow. William G says Doug B equals king. King Doug B in the house. That's right. We love Doug B. All right, where are we at this particular moment in time? All right. What's up? Yes. I'm sorry. Do you want to say hi? Sure. Can they see you? There.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry. I need to borrow the charger.
Right here.
This is for the Switch. Okay,
there we go. Hang on. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. They're getting ready for the Mario Kart stream. So, and that's happening on the Geeks Gamers Play channel here in 12 minutes. And I am going to, so nobody has to feel obligated, but I am going to be rating the Geeks and Gamers Play channel with this audience, okay? And so that's going to be fun. Doug B says, Kick number 1, Rumble number 2, YouTube number 199. Look at there, Doug B, for 20 on Rumble. There we go. There we go. All right, there's a lot of Krista emojis in the chat, meaning either one of two things happened. Krista showed up or MCU fan is here. I'm not sure which, but either way. I like multi-streaming to different platforms because ultimately, you know, you can watch where you want. I mean, I might even start firing up my my Twitch channel again too, just to kind of see like what you know, what people, if people watch over there and want to support over there, because I don't care where you support. I don't care where you support. It doesn't matter to me. All I care is that you are enjoying what we're doing here. That's all I care about. And that's all I will continue to care about. It's a little like, it's kind of off the topic here, but it's still funny. So I kind of want to show all of you this before we wrap this up. This was hilarious, okay? My boy Star Wars Theory, all right? So, my boy Star Wars Theory, you know, he's the biggest Star Wars YouTube channel, all right? He had this psychologist on his channel, all right? And he asked her a question. Now, if you know anything about the Star Wars fandom, it's full, Disney Star Wars fandom is full of a bunch of social justice warrior freaks. They're psychopaths. They put pronouns in their bio. They're mentally unstable, all right? They're usually extremely unattractive. They smell really badly, okay? And they have no social life whatsoever. That's Disney Star Wars fandom, all right? Now, Star Wars Theory, the biggest Star Wars YouTube channel, a friend of mine, by the way, he had this psychologist on. Pretty hot psychologist. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. And he asked her about women in Star Wars. Okay? So I want to play this clip because they're freaking out over this clip. They're freaking out over this clip. It's so funny. Of course, Twitter video being Twitter video for you. Do I have to refresh? Of course. And then I got to go through all these likes really quick. Why does Twitter video suck? Right here. Okay, here we go.
Are very fragile and their masculinity is fragile. Yeah. What's your overall consensus when a female director wants to come in and reshape something and say, it's, plant that flag that, hey, I'm a woman and, hear me roar. Here is my way of making this sort of franchise, which is already established. Now something that's feminine dominant or female dominant, whatever it might be, instead of just a good story.
Now, she says she's not really like into Star Wars per se. Okay. Her answer is the most perfect answer I've ever heard. I want you to understand there is a 350-pound land whale with blue hair that is screeching right now about this woman's answer. The same blue-haired Landwell that says women representation is important. Here we go.
Yeah, I think what happens particularly in Western cultures where women have it so easy, but they pretend they're not. What happens with women who generally have it quite easy, they enjoy victimhood because that's the only way that they can feel part of other people's struggle. What makes human beings feel alive is when they're a bit struggling, when they're going through something, where they've gone through a bit of trauma, they've gone through something, it makes them feel alive. What's happened with women in the Western world particularly is because there is no real oppression, but they want to be a victim so bad because victimhood is just a way of kind of shortcutting sympathy. Everyone it's just shortcut entitlement. You get what you want without having to earn it because you just happen to be a victim. So what happens is they want to start finding places where they can be a victim and then transform it so that they can become a hero. So what they'll do is say, oh, we need more women in this particular sport. Nobody watches them. Nobody wants women in there, but they'll just stamp their authority so they can be a local hero. Then we need more women in Star Wars. No, we don't. No one. Women don't even watch Star Wars. But they don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it. But they want to be like, oh, there's such a deprivation. We got to be in it so they can be a mini hero. When you don't have anything outside of your gender as a way of being proud of yourself, you use your gender as a shortcut for entitlement and heroic stances. So I would just say, unfortunately, it is the norm in Western cultures to kind of over-identify with your gender and then over-identify with victimhood. It's a way of getting a shortcut to being a hero. And as a result, it's just there to design. And also what it does is keeps the power in the hands of the women. And whenever you redirect power entirely to women, just like if it was entirely to men, it creates an unhealthy society. If the power is totally in men's hands, it would be unhealthy. If it's totally in women's hands, it's also unhealthy. But what we're doing is, I remember in an environment, I did a talk and it was a mainly Gen Z, a very young generation. I couldn't believe how feminine the men were. Everybody looked.
Dude, this chick is crushing it. Star Wars Theory has given us a mega star. A mega star. Listen to what she just said. Feminine men.
I remember in an environment, I did a talk and it was a mainly Gen Z, a very young generation. I couldn't believe how feminine the men were. Everybody looked androgynous. I couldn't believe. And I just, you would just take the normal 18-year-old boy, would have been considered as a really feminine man years and years ago. They would have seen him as super feminine, or they would have just assumed he's a homosexual. In this day and age, that's just how the men are come. So they've lost the masculinity. Yeah. And so what's happening is the culture is creating the very men women will not desire in the future. By doing this, you're going to create a bunch of men that you will no longer be sexually attracted to. And as a
It's so accurate. It's the most accurate thing I've ever heard. Shout out to Star Wars Theory.
So you'll be more miserable in the long run.
Well, Sadia, thank you for your time.
Thank
where can
you.
everyone find you? On the Instagram, I guess, hopefully.
I know I got hacked on my Instagram, unfortunately, but in TikTok and YouTube, it's at Sadia Psychology. I also offer one-to-ones, and I have a Patreon which contains all my exclusive content where I go into more detail, and you can message me anytime on that as well. So I stay interactive. So my Patreon and one-to-ones are always available.
I'm going to put all those links in the description, and everyone can find them. And I look forward to talking to you again in our session.
Thank you so
I'm sure she's going to gain a lot of fans from there. Shout out to Star Wars Theory for that. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, this is a glorious answer. And the reason that it's glorious is because it's simply just true. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And right now, there is some weirdo with pronouns in their bio that is screeching to the heavens over that answer. The same weirdo with pronouns in their bio is crying about representation and how women are important and women need to be respected. We must respect women. And then you have a woman calling out the BS and they're like, this woman needs to be canceled. Who is this woman? It's fantastic. I love it so much. So yes, shout out to Star Wars Theory on that one. It was glorious. Glorious indeed. Fantastic stuff. Okay. Are we at sexy back in time? I think we're at sexy back in time. That's where I think we are. We still have 700 1,700 people watching right now. Thank you guys for being here. We have, let's see, how many likes do we have? We are at 1,200 likes. And let's see, we have 1,700 people, 1,200 likes. We got people on Kick. We got people on YouTube. We got people on Rumble. And here we are. Now, again, for those that are new, we show the sexy back end because, well, it's a sexy back end, first of all. Secondly, you know, I mean, I do genuinely appreciate the support. This all started as an idea to be just transparent, because we saw that, look, man, people aren't stupid, you know, like they see a lot of donations coming in. They see a lot of gifted memberships. And I was like, well, do you guys want to see how much I'm making? I mean, not like I need to hide it. So I was like, well, if you hit 1,000 likes, I'll just show the sexy back end off. And it just became a thing. So that's all it is just being transparent. And it is a sexy, sexy back end. So without further ado, here is that sexy back end. Booyah! $431.37. And 65 new members, along with the new members over on Kick that Dougie B dropped. And I'd say we probably pushed $70, $80 over on Kick tonight, or on Rumble. So there we go. Another successful night. Indeed. Indeed. The sexiest back end on YouTube. Let's go. Let's go. So again, thank you guys so much. Again, we're going to be rating the Geeks and Gamers Play Mario Kart stream. Okay. So when this stream ends, it will raid the Mario Kart stream. And then after that, I'll be running Fortnite over on my Cobra 199 channel. Greg Kirby says, I missed your super chat. Did I? All right. Let's see if we can find that, brother. Oh, shit. I got a few I missed. Damn. Phantasm vs. Nux says, apparently Fauci is in a closed-door Congress hearing over the beer bug. Guess he doesn't want the people to even know, though we are, let's see, doesn't want the people to know, even though we know where it began. 100%. Nick Skyberg says, seriously, bro, the clip is kind of old, but it's pretty good. I don't know where I'd find it. You gotta, is it in Discord? Let's see. Kevin Cron says, you need to play the finals again. Hey, Krista. I like the finals. Let's see here. Greg Kirby says, hey, Jeremy, Trump and Tucker equals TNT. I like it. Disco Cobra says, unless I'm on my PC, which is kind of like half the time, I'm streaming this directly over Wi-Fi to my Samsung 55-inch. Quality varies based on connection. And then East Coast Toast Boy says, that's with all leftist theory, psychologist part. Yep, 100%. 50 Shades of Grayson, she's a nice lady. Seems like a very nice lady. Noble Zero says, Tim Pool gambles with super chat money. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, listening to Alex Jones debating Destiny to the point where he had to concede that was as funny as Sean, aka Actual Justice Warrior, doing the same thing to Destiny. People like Destiny don't like facts. 100%. Seven Cross says, if you have time, check out the 11 Films Trump video. It's so effing ridiculous. The libs really do live in another reality. They really, really do. I don't have time to pull that one up, but there is one thing I wanted to pull up before we end this. It's so good. I got to show this one more time. All right. I got to show this one more time. It's Ian losing it last night on the stream. This is so fucking funny, man. Here we go.
It was fake. All right, you know what? That's it. We're done with this fucking conversation. We're moving on to the user questions. As told, Glenn, you had something to say? Glenn, please.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that we are out of.
It was fake. All right, you know what? That's it. We're done with this fucking conversation. We're moving on to the user questions. As told, Glenn, you had something to say? Glenn, please.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that we are out.
He was so fucking mad. It was so funny, man. I don't even know, Ian, I don't know much about Ian, but that shit was funny as hell, man. He was so mad. I was like, holy crap, bro, calm down. I respect it. I respect it. Okay. 100% respect it. God, that was funny as crap. All right. So we're going to end it on Sabaton. And then as soon as this ends, we're rating the Geeks and Gamers play stream. Love you all. Have a great night. I'll see you on Cobra 199 after Mario Kart. And we will talk to you later. Bye, everyone. All right, guys, we're going to end this stream, and then I hope I'll see all of you on the Geeks and Gamers Play channel. Let's rate it with the CobraCast. Love over there, the 199. I appreciate you guys. See you on Mario Kart and then Cobra 199. Let's see if we can go to number 1 tonight on Fortnite streams. We'll see. Long night for us of gaming. Love you all. Talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.